This is a photographer's tour of Portland, Oregon. I'm a photographer. I'm going to show you a lot of pictures that I've taken. I assume that you like photography. Maybe you are a photographer. I want to make this a series. And the format of each episode is going to be I start in location A, and then I'm going to walk to location B. We're going to see some of each location. We'll see some of the walking. Right? It'll make for a slideshow. And then each episode basically works as like an idea of what another photographer might want to do when they're visiting Portland. For this very first episode, I wanted to start at the Blue Sky Photography Gallery. Here on map view, right, this right here is blue sky. Okay, right here, boom. Here are the park blocks. And then just like 2.5 blocks away, this whole city block here is Powell's City of Books. So that's our location B. We're going to start at the Blue Sky Oregon Center for the Photographic Arts. And then I'm going to walk to Powell's, take some pictures of Powell's, and then walk back to Blue Sky. Okay, Blue Sky. What to know about it? It's about to celebrate its 50th birthday. It is a photography gallery for the community. It is free to go in. An annual membership is only $50. And every month they cycle in new exhibits. I don't quite know how many. It's like 5 or 6 each month, right? There's several spaces in there. So let's go see. Right? It's the Oregon Center for Photographic Arts. It's an incredible asset for the city of Portland. Hopefully the city will keep funding them through the art tax that's up in the air. Oh, I wanted to show here that their current hours are 12 to 5, Wednesday to Saturday. That's not a lot, right? They also have special events, so, right. But if you're just trying to go, right, during the middle of the day, it's when it's free, you can just go walk in, right? Check the hours. All right. Beautiful natural light inside. Sort of the first thing you'll find is photo books. And I don't quite know all of the exhibits they've had this year, but I do know this book right here. I think the author is Sage Sawyer, Passing Time. I bought the book right here, right now, right? And I love it. And this was an exhibit at the gallery this year, I think February or March. And I would guess all of these are probably exhibits that they've had in the last 12 months. And the prices are actually pretty good too. Now, this is part of their photo book library. They have a little bit of space where you could, right, grab some books, sit there and read. They'll tell you that this is mostly about artists that have shown at the gallery over its almost 50-year history. There are exceptions, of course, but you shouldn't go thinking that this is like every photo book by every great photographer, right? It's some of that, and then also everyone who has shown here over the years. All right, just showing a little more of the gallery space. Now I like that they have, I'll show you back here, over on the far right. Right. This I think is a little space for a photographer to kind of have for the month to kind of put up their own exhibit, right? It's like their smallest exhibit space, right? And somebody made a little a calendar that you can buy. See, it's for 2025, right? Head of the game. Right, and you can pay right there. That's kind of clever. Okay, in the same room, they have the Pacific Northwest viewing drawers, and I'm not showing all of them. Right, there's more, I think, over on the left side. But each drawer has one or two photographers that have maybe 6 to 10 different works in there. All of these are available on their website, but right, if you'd rather just come here and open the drawers and look. Now notice that there's a drawer open, and I've pulled out a print. And I already knew this was my favorite. I've been on their website and gone through all the photos. And so I wanted to see my favorite. That's a darkroom print. Really nice photo. I think that one is $250, just to give you an idea of the prices. And then this, right, you get to have a drawer for a year, right? So there's an application process, and you get to have a drawer. So I'm just showing an example of a drawer. I'll probably do this someday. I think not this year, but I'll probably try to have a drawer the next year. And then they have a back room that's away from sunlight, and it's more for, right, maybe, I don't want to say smaller, but every kind of this, definitely photos, not some of the biggest works, right? A little, this one was called Wigstock. And here was my favorite photo from it. Really good one. Yeah, just showing the space a little more. And then here we're walking from right where Wigstock was up to the front room. Right, and the front room has bigger space. Now notice over here on the far left, there's actually a room that's not photography, so I got curious about this thing. But now back in the front room. Right, it's a lot of natural light, but at the same time they're protecting the art. Right, there's no direct sun on anything. Right, and this is back towards the entrance. And I get the sense that it's just like volunteers, maybe some employees, but right, no one's trying to sell you anything. Right, it is free, and they're not trying to sell you anything. Now they used to have an old school photo booth, and they've replaced it with something new. These two gentlemen were trying to figure it out. Okay. I should also say that it was convenient to park right here. Right, I've been there a few times, and I always find a spot within a block. Which actually, trying to park by Powell's can get crazy. So it was good to park here and then walk to Powell's. But it sort of meant I had like a 2-hour window to do all of this. You could easily spend a lot of time in this gallery, all right, especially if you started sitting down with photo books. But I'm on a mission here, so I'm going to start walking. So now we're in the park blocks. All right, again, this is like 2.5 blocks to Powell's. Now I like this. This is Burnside Street. I like this little this flower painting on the side of the building is pretty neat. And also there's another photographer. Right, he and I were aware of each other. We were both, aware that we were both taking photos. So he's looking at his photos, but he's also smoking a cigarette. So a little bit of a smoke break. I definitely saw a lot of photographers out, right? I saw somebody shooting a Leica. I saw a couple of people with big digital SLRs. I'm not the only person with this idea. Got a couple people coming underneath it. All right, the city has a lot to photograph, right? I've mostly been a dad, stay-at-home dad, since I moved to Portland, and I'm really looking forward to spending more time in the city. Sort of like that one. Well, I sort of like all these, right? Number one bento. Now I'm out. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. It's about lunchtime. Maybe I should get my hair cut at a place like this. I found a lot to shoot in these 2.5 blocks. All right, a lot of reflections, sort of bouncing light, mix of lots of textures and graphic designs. Right, and now here I've made it to Powell's. I sort of like this Chrysler here, right? And getting hit by the sun. Now this art piece on the left. It's interesting, isn't it? Here's somebody getting a free Bible course. Now, I wasn't quite ready to go into Powell's. I was really having fun. So I sort of went around another block. The Clyde Hotel. There was somebody who, like a block or two away, they were like, "Hey, are you from around here?" I was like, "Sort of, yeah." And he's like, "Where's the Clyde Hotel?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then literally like 30 seconds later, I found the Clyde Hotel. But they were close. You can see me approaching Powell's. Now, if you don't know anything about Powell's, it's the world's largest independent bookstore. There's more than one location in Portland, but this is the city of books, the big downtown location, and it's a full city block by a full city block, and then 3 or 4 stories. And I'd say it's really the heart of Portland. I think if Powell's went under, I think the city of Portland would have heartache. Now, this is upstairs in the photography section, and I can't show it all in one shot, right? You can see there's over here on the left, this woman is sort of in the art and photography, and then sort of straight ahead is all photography, and then off to the right is all photography, and I'm already sort of in some photography section. And it's in a good spot. There's a high ceiling. It's right by beautiful windows. It's in one of the prettier spots in the store. Now, this thing's pretty fun. You can point it out the street, out the window, and instead of having like a normal back on it, it has like a focusing glass, so you can see the image form on the back of the camera. Right, they have lots of these old things, right, as you walk around, like here's a typewriter. Not to be played with, right, but now I've spent not as much time as I want to in this section, but a fair amount. And whenever I'm here, there's always another photographer, right? There's almost always someone that has a camera, right, or a camera bag. Yeah, this is definitely a magnet for photographers. I'm sure when I walked in the store, Powell's was like, "Oh, he's headed to the photography section." Now, I included this one because there's a water fountain up here by the photography section. It is very good water. Portland has really good water. It's one of my favorite things about living here. It's also, the photography section is by the rare book room, which you don't have to pass a test. You can just, there's a pass that you have to ask for and get, and then you can go into the rare book room. I've been in there. There is some photography, but not nothing that I was really looking for. And now this is an interesting spot where the ceiling opens up and there's this nice light that comes out. I'll show you here in a second. Kind of spills in from above. Well, I'm going to show you here in a further down. They're getting ready for Christmas season. Now there's a coffee shop in here, and I do recommend it, we'll get to it later, as a nice environment. Here is the right, what are some good titles in here? Right. Genderqueer. Before we were trans. This bookstore's got a little bit of everything. Now, this is actually worth finding. The Pillar of Signitude. So they have authors come and give talks. And then after they talk, they say, come sign our wall. So you can go around this thing and see all the author signatures. Right, I didn't spend too much time. I did recognize some famous names, but right, I discovered this along with someone else who's like, I've been coming here for, forever. I never knew about this. So it is a little bit hidden. Right, and there's lots of windows here, so it's great people watching, right? Right, you can tell like the books go right up to the glass. Okay, here's the coffee shop. It's pretty crowded, almost always, but there's lots of seating. There's lots of different types of seatings. Kind of see this interesting wood, like, what do you call that? Stepped auditorium. See, I don't know what you call that. That's usually where I sit. And again, if you're just sort of interested in sitting by the window and watching, right? People watching, right? This is a very good spot. Nice high ceiling. Yeah, interesting space. It's not my favorite coffee shop. It's good. It's good. But there's better coffee in the neighborhood. Now, this used to be an old, like, car dealership. And if you look up in the woodwork, you can actually see where it's like parts department, used cars, new cars, right? It's like I don't know if they've been there maybe 40, 50 years or something. Oh, here's where I right, photo up into this big light tunnel. All right, but lots of people just reading. There's a tiny chair section if you like that. Now there's two entrances, so I've gone out the other entrance now. Security guard. They do have security on both entrances. I think he's reading probably Hamlet. Okay, so now I'm just walking back to where I parked. because it's about time to get to my car before my parking expires. So I've got a couple of blocks back to my car. I liked her coat here. I kind of thought this sign was funny. It's like pay here, and then it definitely points up and to the right. So I don't know what's over. I don't know where you pay. Now, what caught my eye here is this: the best rock album of 2024 has no name. I have not further investigated this, but I thought that was interesting. So I came up and got another shot. Also, really like this reflection of the tree up here. Now this is just a little construction site, but I liked how these signs got twisted in this tree. Took a horizontal and a vertical, and I have not picked my favorite yet. Like it says, we move the earth. Interesting. It says all hours, all days. But it stops October 27th. Interesting. Well, this is November 22nd when I was here. I could have parked there. A little behind on their work. And now I'm back to the elephant. And then here's me getting into my car. No. I'm a sucker for UPS trucks. I like shooting the brown UPS trucks. Okay. And then my last shot, I had one shot left on my roll, right? I'm shooting rolls of film, right? And so this was, I think, 3 or 4 rolls of film. And then I had one shot left, and I didn't shoot. I was like, might see something on my way home. And sure enough, right, a couple blocks later, I found another photographer. It's like, I'm driving probably 20 miles per hour. Okay. So that's it. I would like to do more of these, right? Where I find another location A, location B with a walk between, and it's a photographer's tour of Portland. So I would appreciate it if you like the idea to let me know. Okay, take care.